Hey folks, welcome to Bear Mountain today. We are doing a little bit of late planting. We got some Dutch iris in that we haven't gotten in the ground yet. Today is, what, 5th of December? Somewhere around in there.
First week.
Anyway, it's the week after Thanksgiving, so we've been blessed with a day of good weather, so we thought we would put our Dutch iris in, kind of showing a no-till method. Now I know we've done videos on no-till with tulips, and you can check out a link. There'll be a little eye up there in one of the corners. We'll also put a link in the show notes to one we did on no-till tulips about has it been almost 3 years now? Pretty close.
3 or 4.
Yeah. And that was a whole different method of planting a mass bunch. You know, so what you do, instead of digging a trench, basically you were still lining them up, but very close to each other, because we were going to be using those for cuts, and we would pull the tulips with the bulbs and all that kind of stuff. This is going to be different. This is some of it will be used as in cut flower arrangements and things of that nature, but mostly this is about putting out something that's going to mix with the anemones that are left in this bed and give us some kind of spring color. Now there's some anemones in here that sprouted early and they were a bit damaged by weather. The plants themselves are okay. They may look really bad, but what we did is we took off the damaged leaves and kind of just gave it a real sophisticated buzz cut. But these guys will grow back, because at this time of year we're not going to really get blooms out of them any seriousness anyway, being out here in the open. But mostly what's going to happen is they'll resprout and they'll kind of look like that. And then so what we're going to do is we're going to plant our Dutch iris using our doubting dibbler and space them so that they're kind of equally dispersed over this entire bed. Now this bed is about 4 foot wide and is 12 foot long. So we have, I think we said a little over 200 Dutch iris that we're going to put in here. So we can plant these pretty close and get a kind of a nice drift of different colors. And the bulbs themselves for a Dutch iris, these size are what they call 8+. And I see we have Miss Carrots is going to come over here and help us. It's about that size. So it's perfect to make a dibble hole down a couple inches and then just drop these guys in. So that's kind of our method of doing it. And as always, you want the root side down and the pointy side up. So it's not really a complicated thing. We're not going to make any kind of super specific pattern, but I guess what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a number of holes, and then I'm going to come back and kind of fill them in. So this was a no-till bed too. So just as a note, that this bed on it a couple weeks ago, we still had marigolds in here that we were harvesting, and we cut those off at ground level and put those guys in the compost pile back over here. We did a video on that too, so you can check on the no-work compost pile. The roots and stuff are still here to some degree, but they've definitely begun to rot. So the only thing I have to do is just kind of be a little careful and make sure that I'm not getting, yeah, does it meet with your approval there, Miss Carrots? Just got to make sure that I'm not, trying to go directly into a root ball. So the whole key to this is going to be getting as many in here as we can, because what we want is a nice big drift. So here's an example. I got, I don't know, maybe a little more than a dozen. Okay, Miss Carrots, you're gonna have to move. You're in the picture, you're too cute. Okay, so the bulb itself just simply goes in the hole, and I just make sure it's in there. And it is like the top of the bulb is this far from the surface. So the hole itself is about 3 inches deep. So these are gonna fit really nice. Okay, we've got them all laid out, and we put in approximately, I think it's 205 in here, and it's going to be a nice mix. We've got a golden yellow, we've got one called red ember, which I guess has a little bit of red on the base petal with some different colors going on to the inside, and then a general mix that would probably have a lot of blues and purples and things of that nature in it. So this is going to be pretty cool. It's going to be kind of a naturalizing thing, but when they're finished, we'll do the same thing like we do for the daffodils. We'll overplant it again with annuals in the summer. We'll put zinnias or marigolds on here.
Maybe straw flowers.
Or something, you know, that doesn't, you know, disturb the bulbs underneath, but enables us to, you know, just kind of continue to kind of cycle this thing through the course of the year with some flowers. And so the last step we're going to do is you may notice it looks like little pock holes in the whole thing here, is we're just going to go and put a coat of about a ½ inch or so of compost over the top. So I'm not even going to try to force cover the holes. I'm just going to let the compost fill the holes and then put an additional ½ inch on top. And that should finish it off. Now the anemones that are in here though, they're going to get a little buried, but they'll grow out of it. So I'll try to make certain that I kind of, you know, make the compost a little thin where those plants are. And then any anemones that are left that hadn't sprouted in here, they'll sprout just fine through the compost layer by next spring. So this should be a really pretty bed, given some great spring color along with the daffodil beds. And we've got more anemones that we're going to plant in another box, and that'll be another video. We'll typically plant those guys in January so that they'll be ready for field blooming in like, how is it, about April?
Right.
Thereabouts, April and May. And so this area should look really, really great with a lot of spring bulbs. So, any questions, Mrs. Producer?
Not that I can think of. When it gets time to cut them, if we do any for cut flowers, we'll show you how you look for the pencil stage.
Yeah, that's important.
And other than that, they're about 3 or 4 inches deep, 3 or 4 inches apart. Yeah,
it's not a perfect pattern, but it's pretty close to that.
And we'll just keep an eye on them.
Yep.
They don't seem to have any predators.
Nah, not really. And using the dibbler, I mean, this went really pretty fast.
Right.
It took us, I don't know, maybe a ½ hour to do the entire bed. Right. And plop the bulbs in them. And so, yeah, this dibbler is very useful for a lot of things other than just putting in transplants.
Right.
You can plant small bulbs too.
Bulb planter.
Yep. So. Okay, so I guess the next step is I just got to get it done. So I don't have anything more to add to this, do you?
No.
No? Okay, so thanks for watching today, and as always, stay safe out there, and we'll catch you on the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.